I am the Bobinator 531, and I am the first human to have traveled faster than light speed. Allow me to demonstrate. We should be able to reach for the stars in at least 2 years. There's a lot of stuff I could be talking about today. I could be talking about the war with Ukraine and Russia. I could be talking about politics. I could be talking about anything. But today I'm going to be talking about Elden Ring, because it's popular and I like views. So basically, I use Twitter. Oh, shut up. I know all of you use it too. Fuck you. I was recently browsing Twitter and I stumbled upon the most stupid controversy I've ever seen. Should Elden Ring have a pause button? Yes or no? I don't know. But Mr. Bobinator, they don't have a pause button, so the game's more difficult, so you can't pause and... And he definitely doesn't know. Now, personally, I believe, why not? Why not put a pause button in, you know? It's a fucking video game. But, based on some people on Twitter, maybe there shouldn't be, maybe there should be, I don't know who to believe. So, let's whip out my iPhone here and look at some tweets. Now, we start off with poor gamer, poor soul. I understand not pausing when connected online, but it's dumb that you can't pause offline. It's not a unique or hardcore feature, it's just fucking stupid. Sorry people have real lives that can cause something to happen. And this guy with a My Little Pony profile picture comes in, responds, then die and try again later? Don't start fights you can't finish. It's literally that simple. Why are you playing games when you're busy with your real life anyway? Apparently this guy has never experienced an interruption, which, God, I wish I had his life. This next tweet is coming from someone who's just trying to give some honest advice to some people in need. If they, as a scrub who doesn't know how to play, still want to experience Elden Ring, they can watch someone who can actually beat the game on YouTube, and they don't even have to pay for it. Because that's what I want to do with all my video games. I want to watch someone else play them. How fun. Play a different game instead of demanding changes to one that doesn't have the features you want. Yeah, you should never criticize games, you fucking ignorant idiot. You should never criticize any game, because they all come out perfect. I got a nice little thread of tweets here. Elden Ring is the perfect example of pleasing their actual fans instead of folding to the mainstream. More franchises need to take notes. Alright, 1. Elden Ring is a game, it is not a franchise. There's only one game in the Elden Ring series. 2. Are you saying that developers should ignore their critics and only listen to their fans? Are you fucking serious? Imagine being arrogant enough to think a beloved franchise needs to change to include the whining of some game journalists. A quest log? Lol, can you imagine difficulty sliders in a FromSoft game? What's the point, lol? By the way, all these tweets are in response to a Game Rant article talking about how there's a mod where you can pause the game. This guy bringing up the quest log and difficulty, no relevance at all. The point is that some players are not as cool and awesome and cool as you are, and want to experience the entire game, not get stuck in a particular spot for 10 hours. Whew, you ever heard of commas? Why the fuck do you care if they use a slider to do it? Now this brings up a good point. Why the hell do some of these guys care how other people play their single-player game? You're not the one playing it, so who the fuck cares? They made the game they wanted to make. They aren't obliged to accommodate anyone if they don't want to. Now that is true, From Software can make any game they want. But people are going to criticize it. People are going to point out things they don't like about it, such as a pause button not being there. Such as difficulty sliders. Such as not enough sex. Maybe that one's just from me. I love the idea of not having a pause button, but as a dad, I sometimes wish for it. That being said, I only play when the kid is asleep. But when the kid wakes up, there's your priority, at least for me. It's a sad story about just a dad who can't really play his games unless his kids are asleep. Be a man and take your L, it's just a game. I love the people under this tweet that have never touched a Dark Souls game, so they think this is a design flaw, not intentional, LMAO. I don't think most people complaining about Elden Ring haven't played Elden Ring. If only they could let you pause without accessing your inventory like other games. I'm not a kid anymore, I need a pause sometimes. Neither am I, and I've never found a situation that made me angrily go, "Curse! If only I could pause!" I guess you've never had to take a shit then. What a nice, quiet life you must have. I have a family, so... That's nice. I have 2 kids. Don't play multiplayer games either, I guess. Those poor kids. I love this tweet. The game isn't meant to be paused. If you can't enjoy the game without pausing it, then the game isn't for you. It's not gatekeeping or exclusionary. It's just not made for you.
Yes, if you can't enjoy the game without pausing, then maybe you're just not good enough for the game.
How the fuck is my phone charging right now? Whatever. How does that affect you? What if you're halfway a boss battle and you gotta take a shit? I said that earlier. If you haven't shit your pants because of a Souls game, then you aren't a real fan anyway. I like throwing in these joke ones. Yeah, I'm not always serious on the Bobinator 531 channel. Ah, kids. Always complaining. Dark Souls games have a learning curve. You need to learn not to pause your game. That's the reward, is the Dark Souls games having a learning curve. These days, you must do some research before spending money on games. Love Elden Ring. If you don't, that's okay. Not really. There are many other easier games for you to pick. What a fucking asshole. You just gotta talk down to everyone, don't you? The first thing I look up when I'm thinking of buying a game. Not the system requirements, not the gameplay, none of that, no. It is if the game has a pause button, because if it doesn't, you think I'm playing that game? I mean, I have many games without a pause button in my library, but do you think I play them at all? No, because they don't have a pause button.
Now, we've seen a lot of stupidity so far, and of course, wherever stupidity is, the console wars will follow, so here's a PC elitist for you.
Another example of why PC is the king, and is the best place to play any game. Console peasant boxes don't have this kind of freedom and ability. Imagine paying $500 for an underpowered console peasant box that gives you no freedom and no mod support. PC Master Race for life. 1. You're an asshole. 2. You are wrong, because I have modded Skyrim on my Xbox. So fuck you. And 3. Go to hell. The game is primary online, so there's a reason the game can't be paused. And a bunch of single-player games don't pause the game. Yes, it is an online game. Kind of. But I have seen many suggestions that, when you're not being invaded or when you don't have any friends in co-op, you're able to pause, which I don't see why they couldn't do that. I do not know how to pronounce this game, so I'm just gonna fucking go at it. Literally, Neo? I don't fucking know how to say this game.
I just had to look this shit up. Apparently it's pronounced Neo, like N-E-O. So, yeah, there you go.
Uses same mechanics, has a pause. I swear FromSoft could make a game that bricks your system and they defend it. The game bricking your console is just a gimmick. If you can't handle the difficulty of troubleshooting what'll brick your console, then you shouldn't play FromSoft games. What's next? You want an easy button? Don't make me laugh. For people that can't take the heat and want an easy way out, lol, explain how this makes the game easier. Now this is one thing I've seen a lot. People say, oh well if you pause it'll make the game easier. How? Now, I know what they're gonna say, and I have seen what they've said. Oh well, as a boss attacks you can pause and you can see what move he's doing and figure out what you're gonna do to counter him. No one plays video games like that! No one in the world! People use pause buttons to pause the game to go do other shit. Or switch the porn video they're watching on their second monitor. Or is that just me? By having a moment of peace during a boss fight with no sense of urgency, now you take on a boss with a bladder full and you accomplish the fight before. Now that's Souls LMAO. So he's saying that in Souls games, you shouldn't be allowed to piss until you beat a boss. You listen up, because these guys are spitting facts. Me chopping off my own finger so I can take on a boss while suffering severe blood loss for maximum accomplishment. Now, if you wanted to actually suffer from severe blood loss, I would not suggest cutting off a finger. Maybe like a hand or an arm. Hell, you could cut off your leg. You could bleed out really easily if you cut your leg in the right spot. It's a major artery right here. But if you're gonna cut off anything, do your dick. Come on. A pause button would make this game like 20% less interesting. Not 19, not 21, no. 20% less interesting. If not being able to pause is 20% of the interest of the game, it must be a terrible game. Oh, and just to end it off, we got someone just summarizing this entire argument. Those are the same people that like modern art. Now, I'm not going to tell you which one he's talking about, either the people who want the pause button or the people who don't, but I am going to say, nobody fucking cares! It is a video game! Who gives a shit? There's a fucking war going on. It caused World War III and we're arguing about a goddamn pause button. How about this? I will propose a solution to everyone. The pausers, the non-pausers, they can all come together in harmony by subscribing to my channel. Fucking goddamn snow out there in Alabama. This shit ain't supposed to be snowing this late. It's March! It's March! March, damn it! March!